Why does God allow hurt and depression to weigh so heavily on His people? Have you ever felt abandoned in your darkest moments, wondering if God has turned His face away? If you've been asking these questions, you're not alone. Today, let's explore this deeply human struggle and discover the hope that lies within. Hurt and depression can feel like an unending storm. In those moments, it's easy to believe that God is silent or distant. The Bible is filled with stories of people just like us. Job, who lost everything. David, who cried out in anguish. And even Elijah, who wished for his life to end. Their pain mirrors our own, reminding us that suffering is a shared part of the human experience. Over centuries, some of the greatest minds have reflected on why God allows suffering. C.S. Lewis, a renowned British writer and theologian, is best known for his works on Christian apologetics and fiction, having personally experienced deep grief and loss. He reflected on the purpose of pain in his book, The Problem of Pain. In his book, he wrote, "God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world." Lewis believed that pain often awakens us to deeper truths and draws us closer to God. He also quoted, "Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny." Charles Spurgeon, often referred to as the Prince of Preachers, was a 19th century Baptist minister whose sermons and writings have inspired millions. Despite his public success, Spurgeon endured significant personal suffering, including bouts of depression. He once said, "Our infirmities become the black velvet on which the diamond of God's love glitters all the more brightly." Through this metaphor, Spurgeon emphasized how suffering can highlight the beauty and brilliance of God's grace. He also quoted, "I am certain that I never did grow in grace one half so much anywhere as I have upon the bed of pain." Joni Eareckson Tada, a Christian author and speaker, has inspired many through her resilience. After a diving accident left her paralyzed as a teenager, she turned to faith to find purpose in her suffering. She wrote, "God permits what He hates to accomplish what He loves." Tada has also said that God provides sufficient grace to help people through suffering, even though the grace may not remove the suffering itself. Tada's life is a testimony to the belief that even the hardest trials can serve a greater purpose, shaping us to reflect God's love. Walter Tisek, a Jesuit priest, endured years in Soviet labor camps, where he experienced profound suffering and spiritual growth. Reflecting on his trials, he wrote, "To accept each circumstance and let oneself be borne along in perfect confidence and trust, that is the path to peace. Every moment of life is an act of faith, even moments of suffering. To see God's hand in everything, to accept everything as coming from Him, to thank Him for all that He has designed and planned. This is the heart of faith." Tisek's story reveals how surrendering to God's plan, even in the harshest conditions, can bring profound strength and inner peace. Philosopher John Hick proposed the soul-making theodicy, a perspective that views suffering as a divine tool to shape and mature individuals spiritually. He argued that hardships, though challenging, are essential for refining the soul and fostering a deeper relationship with God. As Hick wrote, "Soul-making is not an easy process. It requires the challenge of hardship and the discipline of perseverance." He emphasized that suffering is not without purpose, stating, "Suffering is not pointless. It is part of the process of becoming the person we are meant to be." According to Hick, the ultimate goal of life's trials is not immediate happiness, but personal growth. As reflected in his assertion, the world is not designed for our immediate happiness, but for the formation of our character. The Bible offers profound comfort and reassurance during hard times. Here are some verses to hold on to. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Why does God allow pain, while the full answer may remain a mystery? We know this. God uses our trials to draw us closer to Him, to grow our character, and to equip us to comfort others. If you're hurting today, take these steps. Turn to God in prayer and tell Him about your pain. Seek support from a trusted community or loved ones. Remember that this season will pass, and brighter days are ahead. Pain and depression are not signs of God's absence. They are often the evidence of His work in your life. Hold on to hope, because even when you don't see it, God is moving. Trust in Him and let His love guide you through the storm. If this message spoke to you, please share it with someone who might need encouragement. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.